Picture this: Jack Whittaker, Christmas morning 2002, $315 million lottery winner, the biggest jackpot in history at the time. Within 4 years, broke, divorced, destroyed. But here's the twist that'll blow your mind. It wasn't the money that destroyed him. It was something much deeper. Something that's probably destroying your wealth right now without you even knowing it. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor who controlled Rome's vast wealth, discovered the real reason people like Jack lose everything. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why your fear of losing money is exactly what's keeping you poor. I know this because I lived it. For years, I was paralyzed by one question: what if I lose money? Every investment felt like Russian roulette. Every business idea felt like financial suicide waiting to happen. I was so busy protecting my small pile of money that I forgot the whole point was to grow it. But here's what I discovered. This mindset wasn't protecting my wealth. It was murdering it in slow motion. Have you ever noticed that the people most afraid of financial loss are usually the ones who never build real wealth? There's a psychological prison we create around ourselves. The bars are made of fear, the lock is made of false beliefs, and the ancient key to escaping it? That's hidden in a wisdom that modern millionaires will never understand. Marcus Aurelius didn't just rule an empire, he lost fortunes, made them back, lost them again, and learned something profound about the relationship between failure and wisdom. He discovered what I call the mental prison of never losing. And breaking out of this prison, that's where real wealth begins. But what if I told you that the only people who never lose money are the ones who never risk growing at all? You can commit injustice by doing nothing. Marcus Aurelius. This wasn't philosophical poetry, this was financial strategy. The emperor understood that the greatest financial risk isn't losing money, it's never putting yourself in position to lose money in the first place. Think about it. When you're so terrified of loss that you keep money in savings accounts earning 0.5% while inflation devours 7% of your purchasing power annually, that's not safety. That's guaranteed loss wearing a three-piece suit. The Stoics had a name for this: the tyranny of false security. Here's the mental shift that changes everything. Fear of losing money keeps you focused on protecting what you have. Wisdom of accepting loss keeps you focused on growing what you could have. Modern financial advice says, preserve capital at all costs. The Stoics would call this mental poverty. Here's why. When preservation becomes your primary strategy, you stop thinking like a creator and start thinking like a protector. And protectors don't build wealth, they just guard what's already there. But here's what's really happening in your brain. Neuroscience shows us that the fear of loss is twice as powerful as the desire for gain. This is called loss aversion, and it's literally rewiring your neural pathways to avoid opportunities. The Stoics didn't have brain scans, but they understood something profound about human psychology. They knew that the emotion of fear creates what they called false reasoning. When you're afraid of losing money, you don't make logical financial decisions, you make emotional ones, and emotional financial decisions are always expensive. Financial Stoic tool number 1, the maximum loss test. Before any financial decision, ask yourself 3 questions. What's the maximum I could lose? Can I handle that loss without destroying my life? What would I learn from that loss? When you've mentally prepared for possible loss, you can evaluate opportunities rationally instead of emotionally. This is what I call financial stoicism, not reckless rational. But here's something that will completely flip your understanding of fear and money. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, imagining loss before it happens. Modern people think this sounds depressing. The Stoics knew it was liberating. Marcus Aurelius would mentally rehearse losing his wealth, his position, his empire, not to create anxiety, to remove it. When you've already mentally experienced loss, the fear of loss loses its power over you. Financial Stoic tool number 2, the daily loss visualization. Every morning, Imagine this could be the day you lose everything. Not to create anxiety, to create appreciation. When you truly accept that loss is possible, you stop taking your current financial situation for granted. And when you stop taking your finances for granted, you start making better financial decisions. King Solomon understood this principle. Proverbs says, "In the day of prosperity, be happy, but in the day of adversity, consider God has made the one as well as the other." The person who's never lost money is like a soldier who's never seen battle. They might feel safe, but they're not prepared for the real world. Seneca proved this. He lost his entire fortune 3 times and rebuilt it each time. But he said his greatest education came not from the rebuilding, but from the losing. Because each loss taught him something about himself that success never could. Financial Stoic tool number 3, the failure education framework. The Stoics distinguished between 2 types of failure: failures of strategy, bad market timing, wrong investment; failures of character, greed, fear, impatience. Strategy failures teach you about the external world. Character failures teach you about your internal world. Both are valuable, but character lessons prevent future failures across all areas of life. When you understand that failure is education, you stop fearing it and start leveraging it. But there's something even more powerful than just accepting loss. Something that will completely redefine what wealth means to you. The people who build lasting wealth aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who learn from it faster than everyone else. But here's the paradox that will reshape your entire money mindset. The Stoics discovered that fear of loss creates artificial scarcity. When you're obsessed with protecting what you have, you start believing opportunities are rare, money is scarce, wealth is for other people. Marcus Aurelius knew something different. True abundance isn't having more money, it's having more ideas, skills, connections, more value to offer the world. And here's the kicker. You can't lose ideas, you can't lose skills, you can't lose your ability to create value. Money is just a tool. The real wealth is in your mind, and the mind that creates money once can create it again. Even Plato recognized this in his theory of forms. He understood that the physical world, including money, is just a shadow of the real world of ideas and knowledge. Lose the shadow, you still have the substance. Financial Stoic tool number 4, the abundance reframe. Instead of asking, "What if I lose money?" ask, "What would I learn from losing money?" Instead of, "What's the safest option?" ask, "What's the smartest option?" Instead of, "How do I protect what I have?" ask, "How do I grow what I could have?" Marcus Aurelius understood the difference between losing money and losing your capacity to create money. That capacity, your skills, your knowledge, your ability to create value, that's the real wealth. Financial Stoic tool number 5, the legacy perspective. Imagine yourself at 80, looking back on your financial life. What would you regret more, the money you lost taking calculated risks, or the opportunities you missed because you were too afraid to try? The Stoics called this the view from above. It's the ability to see your current financial situation as one chapter in a longer story, not as the entire book. When you zoom out, you realize that temporary losses are just that, temporary, but the lessons from those losses last forever. Seneca put it perfectly. The willing destiny guides them, the unwilling destiny drags them. When you accept the possibility of loss, you're guided toward opportunities. When you resist it, you're dragged toward mediocrity. But before I give you the final call to action, I need to share something personal that proves everything I've just told you. I'll be completely honest with you. I've lost money more than once. Bad investments, failed businesses, timing disasters that kept me awake at night questioning every decision I'd ever made. There was one particular investment, I won't go into details, but I lost more money in 6 months than most people make in 2 years. I remember sitting in my car after finding out, just staring at my phone, feeling like the biggest failure on the planet. But here's what I discovered in that moment of absolute financial rock bottom. The person you become through losing money is often worth more than the money you lost. That loss taught me things about resilience, about decision-making, about my own psychology that no amount of success could have taught me. It forced me to rebuild not just my bank account, but my entire relationship with money. And today, I'm financially stronger than I've ever been, not because I stopped taking risks, but because I learned how to take smarter risks. The ancient philosophers were right. Every loss carries within it the seed of future wisdom. Every failure contains the DNA of future success. But only if you're willing to learn from it instead of hiding from it. The strongest warriors weren't those who never lost a battle. They were those who learned something from every battle they fought. Your financial battles are no different. Make them count. So here's my question for you. What's the biggest financial loss you've ever experienced? More importantly, what did it teach you about who you really are? Drop your story in the comments below, because I've noticed something. The people willing to share their failures are always the ones who learn the most from them. Your financial fears aren't protecting you, they're imprisoning you in a cell you built yourself. Every dollar you're too afraid to risk is a dollar that can't work for you. Every opportunity you avoid out of fear is an opportunity you're handing to someone else. Fortune favors the bold. But boldness without wisdom is just recklessness. The wisdom: accept loss as a teacher, not an enemy. Embrace uncertainty as a friend, not a threat. As Proverbs reminds us, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. The best advisor you'll ever have is your own experience with failure. If this video shifted how you think about money and loss, subscribe to keep feeding your millionaire brain. The journey from financial fear to financial wisdom. We're taking it together, one ancient lesson at a time. Remember, the mental prison of never losing isn't keeping you safe, it's keeping you small. The key to your cell? It's been in your hand the whole time. Break free.